We had a lot of local meetings towards the end of the year and nothing really happened until we got to Arena at the end of September, and it took us by surprise, took everyone by surprise when it turned out he'd become the Arena World Champion.
We arrived late as always, got a seeded place, which was a bit fortunate. It's the first bit of luck perhaps. Didn't realise it until they started counting me down on the laps, and then you think, oh, I've never won anything before, so you kind of imagine yourself a little bit like Lewis Hamilton or something when you know it's kind of in the bag, but you think only I can screw this up now. I was very lucky, but I think in banger racing you need that luck, because the amount of times I've been there and I don't think I've finished that race at all, actually, ever. So to actually turn up and get some luck was nice for a change.
Adam had a visit from the Environment Agency last year, and at one point it looked like they'd shut us down and we'd have to stop racing. Thankfully, they were satisfied that there was no pollutants going into the ground, and that they issued a couple of bylaws, if you like, that we had to abide by. But other than that, they were happy for us to continue.
Civil War this year was my third one, and I was asked a few months beforehand to be the captain for the Mondeos team, and that was a taller order than I realised, that you've got to try and motivate people to do it, which I always took it as an honour in the past to be asked. But I think we ended up with 22 out of the 25, and we held our own. I did do all the races I could in the DD and that myself. We did win overall, which I think was job done really.
A couple of years ago we had to move yards. This is a proper compound, but unfortunately it's really narrow. Really, we've only got enough room for cars on one side, which means they've now got to be stacked, and it's really limited because you have to drag everything out in the morning, drag the lorry out, drag all the tools out. You have to work on the car out in the front because there's enough space to get them side by side. Out here we have to do it out in the rain, snow, you name it, we've done it. It is a struggle. It's one of the challenges.
It is hard to keep up with some of the running costs. I mean, I don't have any race engines or anything like that, but you try and make things yourself so it doesn't cost you anything or cost you the very minimum. I more or less don't really spend anything on the cars as such. And like, you know, even a roll of tape to do the pillars is £2 and it'll do 2 or 3 cars, and it does add up.
I just don't have the time to come out of the yard to help him do the cars every day, all the time anymore, and he does a lot of it on his own now. And I'm sure he's grateful of any help he can get, whether it's physical help, support from other people.
In many ways, it's time that is the biggest problem. You can get help and support with some of the costs of racing, whether it be sponsorship or cars sometimes for free, and other bits and pieces, but time is hard, so you need to go to work, and you also need to have the other family related commitments and other bits and pieces, and it is hard to do it, and it is a selfish lifestyle, unfortunately.
Adam helps me because I don't have the ability or the space really to build a car myself, so he does fair amount of work on that side. Fixes the cars in the meeting, borderline everything really, apart from drive it.
The last couple of years I've been doing cars for other people as well. So when you're doing cars for other people, nearly always they either don't have the facilities to do their own, the kit or the cars, or maybe the know-how. So yeah, it's nice to get them out there. Some people have been completely new to it and they've had a go. and then they quite often get the buzz and they want to go again. And obviously I do get some support back from them, which helps keep me going to meetings myself. So next up is the micro team meeting, and I've been asked to race in red and black for Sprout, Nigel, with a few others. So his teams of 6, and he's actually going to have 2 teams of 6, so there'll be an A and a B team. Should be quite good. It's nice to be asked to do something like that. It's always, racing in a team is always a bit different because you're not just thinking about yourself, which you normally do. Normally I'm on my own, so you've got to think, does anyone else need a bit of support or backing up out there? Because if you don't, they're gonna tell you so afterwards when you didn't help them out.
I'm not used to racing with, at the end of the day, 11 other people. It's certainly a change. I'm driving around thinking, I can't hit that one, I can't hit that one, I can hit that one, I can't catch that one.
So last night we were in the Rebels Team A and we actually managed to win. It was an okay night, but the car was getting sort of progressively slower through the races, and by the end of the night the engine was completely dead. So we had to do a sort of rush engine change, which we started last night under the lights in the track, and then I got up at 7 o'clock this morning, went to the yard and took an engine out of one, put it in this one, and then we had quite a good day, so it was kind of worth it.
You get a buzz from going to big meetings still, even as a spectator. I mean, it's great watching the good crashes going in front of you. Oh, there's a pile up going in, everyone's piling in, and it's fantastic because all your mates are cheering, everyone around you's cheering. It produces a really, really good atmosphere.
I think everyone gets a buzz from racing. If you didn't, you wouldn't come back.
Since I've been racing, I've made hundreds of friends, but I've also made loads of enemies. It's hit and miss. The social is a big part of going racing. You've got all your mates there, especially when you've got loads of mates to help, when you've got a lot going on, you've got a couple of cars to fix, and we've got all the other people in the chat groups coming over, helping, lending a hand.
One of the cool parts of racing over the years is you sort of get to know a lot of people, and you pull up sometimes and then you get a little bit swarmed with people wanting to come and say hi and stuff, which is cool. So yeah, it is a good community. So I don't have a gold roof today because of the team colours, which are red and black, but when it comes around, I will obviously like to retain it. I think it's unlikely, but I'm going to go and try my best at Arena, and of course I'll be here at Smeethop as well for the local World Final, and I'd do my best to get into Ipswich as well, so you never know, there's a few chances.